There are a lot of other government departments out there that are part of defending the security, not just of their nation state, but actually of the industry within that nation, and also potentially going and looking at other nations and other actors to find out what people are up to. Now, where is the line drawn? If there is an attack on some critical national infrastructure by, let's say, another state actor that is attacking, say, nuclear power industry within the United Kingdom, that is going to cause significant danger and threat to the population. So therefore, is that a Home Office business? Is it the security services business? Is it military business? There's a fine line. And I think unless all of those branches and departments operate and train together collectively, then there are going to be huge gaps in our defensive capability from that point of view. But I think industry is also extremely vulnerable to cyber threat. And we as a company, we build state-of-the-art simulators. We do a lot for the airline industry and also for the military. Those have to be protected. And they're networked together, those simulators. And if they're not protected from cyber attack, then we are very vulnerable. There are lots of parts of industry that are in that game. And they need to cooperate together so that collectively industry can protect itself rather than trying to do it as individuals, because it will not work that way.
I think the biggest challenges in ICS is, first and foremost, recognition by the companies and the industries that they have a significantly different threat, and that it's a very real threat, and that they need to address it. I think that's first and foremost. I think the threat associated with the fact that an awful lot of particularly the critical national infrastructure elements, so oil, water, gas, ports, have old industrial control systems that are using often outdated operating systems or even bespoke ones. And so therefore, I think you're going to need to have a specialist who understands that to bring the best value to bear.
ICS, or any control system that uses digitization, uses software. Any software is only as good as the last time it was patched, the last time it was maintained. It is amazing. So classically trained, I am a control systems engineer. My degree is electronic instrumentation and control systems. So yeah, SCADA and ICS systems, kind of close to my heart as well. The problem is they're tied into critical national infrastructure, critical business infrastructure. And again, the economy, there is no redundancy. I'm not going to say resilience, but no redundancy in ICS systems because it's expensive. Not necessarily the ICS component, but the additional pipe so you can bring them offline. Any time you bring an ICS component down from maintenance, that company's losing money. So there is a reluctance, a nervousness, commercial nervousness to bring them down. Whenever you patch something, we've all experienced it in our own lives with our ICT, but whenever you patch something, how often has that patch got another patch that comes out a couple of days later to fix the patch that fixed the problem? In ICS, they can't afford for their pipelines to fail. In ICS, they can't afford for the national grid to fail, for the substation to not cut in, not cut out. They can't afford for the water pipe and the flow meters in the water pipe or the water quality to not be reporting in. And they don't have the economy to absorb the outages that are required. So again, it's a little bit of the red top syndrome. Yeah, and respectfully, I think it goes beyond ICS. If you look into healthcare and medical tooling and things, a lot of those machines have a very, very long lifespan. And I don't mean not necessarily just the operational lifespan, but the development lifespan as well. So it's quite amazing the number of systems that are now being run on what are redundant operating systems that haven't been patched by the original vendor and manufacturer for maybe 5 years now. But we're still using them as the modern machines because we can't afford to replace, or the patching isn't there. So we have to do our risk assessment and our risk profile assessment of that and see how we can do mitigation. And you can never mitigate 100%. So back to ICS, yes, they need patching. You know, there's the classic scandal that a lot of them, scandal headline that's come out with a lot of the CCTV cameras and things. We bought cheap, we got cheap. we have low-grade security systems, we have weak passwords that can't be changed by the end user, and they're now breachable. You know, the classic attack took 1.6 billion of these devices on the latest DDoS attack and just exploited them. That is just a general systemic issue. Yeah. So the ICS, the problem you've got is they're critical business or national infrastructure. We're not quite sure what the patch will do. We don't necessarily understand how to deploy the patch in a managed way. And all our businesses and our shareholders will be screaming if something goes wrong. And we haven't got the money to, using an American Marine phrase, US Marine phrase, to rock drill it on a test infrastructure.